What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team stand up! 20 things you didn't know about the NBA.
There's a lot of things the NBA doesn't tell you. From referees rigging games
Christmas, man,
to players doing some crazy things to get a win.
Come on, I've always been talking
These are 20 things you didn't know about the NBA. And for number 20, you had no idea that NBA mascots get paid more than doctors. Yeah,
what?
Benny the Bull makes 400.
Bro, now if you see something flickering, that's when I gotta get a new light bulb. Just bear with me on this vid. Actually, no, matter of fact, like, you gonna act right. You gonna act right, man. I got an FCC brothers and sisters to entertain. Act right, Light. Alright? Come on. Light has one job. But, bro, this is the first time I ever found out about that. Bro, the view, I don't blame him. You gotta think about how, like, much layer it has on it. You know how hot that person probably has to be just jumping around, dancing around? But that's a full-on exercise. But I didn't know they get paid more than the doctor. But, bro, the employments and hiring of mascots is about to go up. And the applications about to go up.
500. And Rocky the Mountain Lion makes $625,000 a year. These mascots are rich. That's crazy. So is number 19. Because you probably
it's crazy because you never know who's under the mascot too, so that's just like such a private job. But imagine you meet on a date with somebody and they ask you what you do. I'm a mascot for, you know what I'm saying, the Denver Nuggets. We just lost last night too. Did they lose last night? I don't remember. I just know that Gordon Aaron had crazy.
NBA arenas can turn into monster truck derbies. Yeah, and it only takes 90 minutes. So if you stay a little bit after an NBA game, you can catch moments like this.
What? Bro, I haven't seen that since the early 2000s. I didn't know that still goes on.
Monster trucks are dangerous. And speaking of monsters, we gotta talk about number 18.
Oh man, this guy is, bro.
I bet you didn't know about the referee that's banned from the NBA. This is Tim Donaghy, and in the early 2000s, he was one of the most respected refs in the entire league. But behind the scenes, Tim had a dark secret. Yeah, this man had a gambling problem. And not only was he illegally betting on his own games, but he was also selling insider information to his friends, tipping them off on fouls he'd be calling that night, making up to $5,000 for every bet he helped him win. While Tim thought he was running a genius scheme, what he didn't know is that his gambling advice was ending up in the hands of some dangerous people. The Mafia wanted Tim's help at any cost.
What kind of threats did you receive?
Death threats.
What did they say?
That I was going to be killed.
Did you believe them?
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Tim was in deep with the Sharks.
Does he have an accent? I never realized he had an accent.
Because in 2007, after a series of FBI wiretaps, the feds caught wind of Tim's scheme. So just a month later, he officially pled guilty to 2 felony gambling charges, leading to 15 months in federal prison. Damn, I didn't know refs could be that twisted.
That's
but
crazy.
I didn't know number 17 either.
Bro.
The fact that the tallest and shortest players in NBA history were teammates. Yeah, in the 80s, the Washington Bullets wanted to build the most unique team in the league. So they drafted 7'7" Manute Bol.
Oh, that's Bobo's dad!
Muggsy Bogues. And together, they looked ridiculous.
Bro, that is a funny sight. Muggsy and Bobo's dad.
7'5". Man, Manute, we was always comfortable with ourselves and always comfortable in terms of who we were.
Man, these two were built different. But there's one player that was really built different. Because for number 16, there's an NBA player that's missing a finger.
Gerald Green.
Gerald Green. And when Gerald was just 11 years old, lost his finger in a horrific accident.
I heard about that.
Despite being short-handed, he went on to become a star, playing 12 seasons in the NBA, earning over $20 million.
Hey,
even winning
he got dropped off by who's his face? That uncle coach.
Give this guy a high 4 and give dude some money too. Because for number 15, I doubt you knew that NBA players got paid less than truck drivers. Yeah. See, back in the 70s.
Hey, I didn't even know it. No, well, obviously you just said back. They're not talking about now. No, I've been hearing it. People had them CDOs. We be getting dangerous job, but hey, they be getting
that's $5,000 less than what truck drivers made.
Oh, that was
It
the
didn't matter
70s?
how good the player was.
Wow! Okay, so bro, this is why I need to do an NBA ranking list, bro. This literally changed everything. I need to do a rankings of all-time list or something. I know people have been asking for that. You know, I'm going to come out in January with that. You know what I'm saying? 23 around the corner. We coming out with like bro, I try to tell, we 99 overall all 2023. That's the Dut Reacts year. You know what I'm saying? 23 is in the name, so it just only makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But look, this is another reason why Wilt has to be in the top 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you what position he's at because you're going to have to find out when we rank the players. But, bro, this even makes it even worse because Wilt was underpaid like crazy. I did not know they got paid like this amount less. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if he was playing in today's NBA with even a higher, because that means if you have a higher payment, that means you're going to be motivated to pay a lot better. Exactly, right? Or sometimes in certain people's state cases. But, bro, Wilt would have been more motivated to play even better and even harder, bro. Wilt Chamberlain would have broke even more. I think he could have potentially scored 200 points, bro, if he played in today's NBA game, bro.
It's 5,000
That's
less
crazy.
than what truck drivers
Wilt was getting
made.
underpaid.
It didn't matter how good the
Abdul-Jabbar was
player
getting
was
underpaid.
Because Wilt Chamberlain, one of the greatest of all time.
He's the number one center in
his
ever, in my opinion.
entire career. That's how much Steph Curry makes in 3 games.
Curry,
Dudes
man.
are cashing fat checks. But hey, they don't always get every dime.
Hey, the only person that makes it right is Curry. It's all
Probably
good.
knew that players got fined for breaking rules. But what you didn't know is where the money goes. Because the NBA gives every last penny to charity. And since 2010, the league's donated over $100 million, all because of fines. So flipping off fans or swearing at reporters is really all for a good cause. But number 13 is all for the flex. Because I bet you had no idea that NBA championship rings cost millions.
I know it has
in 2020.
But a 2022 Warriors championship ring has to be worth over $25.2 billion, bro. Just for the storyline of how the season went and everything.
17th title in franchise history. They wanted to celebrate big, so they hit up celebrity jeweler Jason of Beverly Hills and had him craft the most expensive rings in NBA history.
We had diamonds going all the way down the side. We had each player's number written with a mamba snake in the background in honor of Kobe Bryant. We really went over and beyond on this particular ring because it's the home city. I'm a huge fan, and I want it to be bigger and better than any ring we've ever made.
Each of these rings cost over $150,000. So in total, the Lakers spent over $3 million. Damn, the rings do look flashy though. But I can't say the same for number 12, because I bet you didn't know that. The granny shot is scientifically proven to be the most effective free throw form.
I'm not even gonna lie, because bro, I've tested this out too. Me being a professional athlete or major athlete, because we didn't obviously go to the NBA, but turn my player. But I've tested this out multiple times, and I feel like I could really master this free throw. I was just too worried about what people would have thought, bro. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, and then, in 9th grade, I've told this, story before, man. But, I had missed 2 free throws, clutch free throws that ended up costing us the game against this rival team when we came out of Christmas break called Dwyer.
This is Rick Baird. And in the 60s, he was doing the
I could have did this free throw.
Every free throw, granny style. The man looked ridiculous. But hey, it worked. Because Barry was shooting 90% from the free throw line. That's the same percentage as Steph Curry. Now, as weird as the granny shot is, it's nothing compared to number 11. Because NBA players have some of the weirdest names imaginable. I mean, there's God Sham God, Wawa Jones, even got Fat Lever knocking down threes. But there's one player in France the NBA needs to sign, because he'd have the weirdest name in NBA history.
Really?
Song, curling off the screen, driving baseline. Oh, you fat, with a 3.
What did you just call me?
Just said that is that man's name. Don't tweet at me. I don't want a tweet from anybody. That's the man's name.
Hey, Mr. Ho, you fat, if you're watching this, I want to sign
that's his
jersey,
last
dog.
name
That
for
thing is
real?
fire. Well, look.
Bro, I need that jersey!
So from here on
I need that jersey!
I don't know a damn thing. And I bet you didn't know that the NBA is going to Mexico. See, in 2019, Mexico City got their own NBA G.
Bro, that would be so fire! Bro, I think they should have an NBA team out in Mexico. They should have an NBA team out in like South America, bro. This is only gonna make it expand and make the entire league, you know what I'm saying, become more popular. Because just look at FIFA, like World Cup, you know what I'm saying? I said a video game, but I think that's what it's called still too. But look at the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're national. They have everybody has a team. You know what I'm saying?
Team.
I think they
the
should
Mexico
do it.
City Capitanes. And soon after, the NBA started to see a huge growth in popularity. So in 2022, they announced plans to add new official teams to the league, with options like Las Vegas, Seattle, and most importantly, Mexico City. But whatever city gets a team, I just hope their branding's on point. Cause for number 9, you probably didn't know that the NBA had some of the weirdest logos ever. Like this terrifying Knicks logo, or this hideous Celtics logo. Hell, in the 60s, this was the Lakers logo. Man, we could have had a giraffe. Ridiculous.
What are they trying to say about me?
You want ridiculous? Then we got number 8, because you didn't know that it's scientifically proven that James Harden plays worse in cities with good strip clubs. Yeah, in 2019, a Redditor analyzed Harden's performance in every NBA city for the past 4 seasons. And after comparing each city's average strip club rating, the results were mind-blowing. Because he found out that, to a statistically significant degree, Harden's performance declines in cities with the best clubs, like Miami and LA. Damn, this man James got the wrong head in the game. Unbelievable. But sometimes, the nightlife can end way worse. And that's why for number 7, I don't think you knew that the league made a rule that's saving players' lives. See, in 1986, the NBA's next big star, Len Bias, was drafted 2nd overall by the Celtics. People were expecting the kid to dominate the league for years to come. Sadly, only 2 days later, tragedy struck.
The Maryland Medical Examiner has now issued his report on the death of the college basketball star Len Bias. It confirms the worst suspicions. He died of heart failure because he used cocaine. First, here's ABC's Bill Greenwood.
Stay away from drugs, you guys,
the NBA
please.
couldn't stand to watch another young star suffer the same fate. So just a month later, they created the Rookie Transition Program, where incoming rookies are taught how to adjust to the NBA lifestyle, from drugs and alcohol classes to financial assistance courses and even media training. So
you know what's one thing I always don't understand why they don't have implemented? This is how I know I'm like destined to be in the NBA and like especially change a lot of things. Like the first thing, you know, especially allowing players to wear do-rags in the game. You know what I'm saying? Second, they mentioned all that stuff, which is important, but why didn't they mention things about how to be safe when it comes to women? Not only when it comes to like STDs and stuff, but when it comes to like being trapped in like child support or, you know what I'm saying, just like toxic relationships and, you know, DV type of, you know what I'm saying, cases that can potentially happen. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sports, they're not as transparent when it comes to that type of side and a lot of other things too. I'm probably missing out a, you know what I'm saying, a good like couple of things that I could that can help it, you know, but I never understood like why, you know what I'm saying, they don't hold like things like this. They don't teach you that in school. You know what I'm saying?
And the support and education they need to make the best of their careers. And all this training is paying off. Cause at number 6, I bet you didn't know that players got paid over $1 billion to be in NBA 2K. Yeah, back in 2019,
oh, that's
the NBA
fire.
Players Association signed a 7-year deal with 2K worth an absurd $1.1 billion. That money is shared amongst the players that appear in the game. While specific numbers aren't public, it's estimated that the top NBA players can earn up to $250,000 a year just from being in 2K.
Ronald!
These dudes get to play with themselves and get a bag.
Yo, that did not sound.
That's legendary. And so is number 5, because the NBA broke a world record. See, in 2010, the NBA wanted to take their All-Star game to new heights. As the saying goes, everything's bigger in Texas. So the league went down to Dallas and got to work, turning the Cowboys Stadium into an NBA arena. This game hit it big, because by the end of the night, it set a world record for the most fans in attendance in basketball history. 108,713 people. That place was loaded. But imagine if all those people were subscribed to Rebound. We'd be unstoppable. So what are you doing? Subscribe. But if we're talking unstoppable, we gotta mention number 4, because there's an NBA player that has more rings than Bill Russell. See, this man dominated the league winning 11 NBA championships. 11. And for decades, this was the most rings a player had ever seen. But in 1983, everything changed as the league started giving out custom rings to NBA All-Stars. Yeah, and if you add up every ring that's been given out over the years, the player with the most rings is Kobe Bryant with 23. But alright, dog, it's top 3 time, so we're taking you didn't know to the extreme. And first, we gotta talk about the curse of the Denver Nuggets.
They're cursed?
Back in 1975, the Nuggets were facing the Indiana Pacers in the division finals. During Game 2, Indiana decided to pull out their secret weapon, Dancing Harry. Now, if you thought this was just some harmless dancing, you'd be dead wrong. Dancing Harry put a hex on the Nuggets, and it must have worked, as the Pacers won the next 2 games. So going into Game 5, the Nuggets needed some magic of their own, and that's when they devised a plot to get revenge.
Really?
Hiring Rabota, the Golden Witch of the West, to put a curse on the Pacers. Yeah, they actually hired a witch, but in the end, I think Rabota must have cursed the wrong team, because not only did the Nuggets go on to lose that night, but they also got eliminated from the playoffs just a couple of days later. And legend has it, Denver's still cursed to this day.
Damn, because they never won a championship.
Remember,
what the heck? You can't repair that?
2, you probably didn't know that. There's only one jersey number that's retired by the NBA. See,
really?
With 5 MVPs, 12 All-Star games, and 11 championships, Bill Russell dominated the game. And yet, what he did off the court was even greater, because Bill was a trailblazer. He was the first black head coach in NBA history, and was even awarded a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
That's
so
cool.
in 2022, when he sadly passed away, the NBA decided to honor Bill by permanently retiring his number 6 jersey, making this the first
this was actually recent when he retired. I remember this, I think. Because that's why LeBron can't wear number 6
know about the NBA.
I like
what
that.
What if I told you none of this would have ever happened?
They need to retire more jerseys.
Number 1, because there's no way you knew that the NBA was almost canceled. See, back in the 70s, the NBA had a huge problem on their hands. Their 2 biggest stars, Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, had both retired. College basketball had become more popular than the pros, and drug scandals were ruining players' lives and the league's reputation. And throughout the decade, these issues caused the NBA's viewership to plummet. It got so bad that, by 1978, they weren't even televising the finals games live, and the league was considering getting rid of multiple teams. No one was watching the NBA. But then, something crazy happened, as in 1979, the NBA was taken over by 2 future GOATs at the same time, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Wow.
And from that point on, the NBA was never the same.
And those 2 guys, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, saved the NBA. Really saved the NBA from really going under, because at that particular point, it was only maybe 4 teams that were making money.
Yeah.
Out of at that time, I think there might have been 22 or 24 teams in the league. And these 2 guys came along and they just kind of saved the NBA. So, all these guys out here just making all this money, they owe Magic and Larry Bird a lot of kudos.
Magic and Bird changed the NBA. They made basketball cool. Suddenly, fans were lining up to watch, to the point where, by 1985, the league had doubled in its viewership and revenue, and the NBA has been thriving ever since. But believe it or not, NBA players are blowing even more money than that.